Yo, Laurent, you look like you got the flu or something, bro.
Wow, that's crazy. I haven't been to the doctors in actually in years now.
I hope you
But
never have to see a doctor.
yeah, well, I mean, shit. Now that you're fucking giving me a virtual diagnosis, man, I don't know. I'm thinking it's high time, bro. Like, what are what are you seeing as symptoms, bro?
Well, you just look, you look stressed.
Jeez, that's crazy.
You look
And
stressed. You know what's coming.
mm, wow, that's funny, man. And like I mean, I know CJ commented on my hair the other podcast, but it's covered up, so it's like I don't know what the fuck you're looking at that has you thinking, that men's are stressed.
Well, you know what's coming. Judgment Day is upon us.
Oh, look at that, bro. Like men's are so not worried about that I completely forgot
Mm.
that. Yeah, bro. Now we're good. We're good, bro. We're
How good
good.
are you?
Super good. Like, honestly, man, I'm not worried at all. If I'm being completely honest, it sounds like you're more worried than I am
Worried for who?
for the Chelsea FC, bro. For the men in blue.
Like Men in Blue, like the ones who got the blue face and they dance around, like that Men in Blue.
Bro, you already know what I'm talking about, bro. Yeah, these guys, bro. That's you know. Saying your boy hasn't been doing this, eh? More so like, oh my gosh, I missed like that's what the new Gyakura celebration has been lately, eh? Bro, where's he at? You guys tell me, man. I've been seeing this video of this guy rating world-class players, and then they got to Gyakura's, and it was an instant no. Saka, I think, made the cut. Saka made the cut. Cole Palmer, I don't know if he made the cut, but yeah, bro, that's your man up top, leading the front lines.
Cannot wait.
That was funny. I found it funny that you did the João Pedro celebration, and then trying to make fun of Gyökeres for his celebration and saying where's our guy, and trying to insinuate that your guy is balling out. When I just checked the statistics, and Gyökeres and João Pedro both seem to have 4 goals in the Prem. So I'm not really sure why you're hyping up your guy as if he's like
Because
levels
our
above
our guy
or
has
should have more
contributed
goals.
more. All right, for one.
Oh,
Okay.
cap. That's cap. That's cap.
What?
That's bullshit.
Wait, what?
That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah. Stats aside, just stats aside, you're really gonna come on this pod, right? I know we're shooting from the hip, but bro, you're shooting from some other place, bro. You're gonna come on this pod and
Pause.
say,
Pause
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. You,
Yo.
you, you,
Oh, you.
you
Yeah, shit, that's crazy. I didn't even clock that. That's a
yeah,
good look, Mehrdad. It's a good call.
yeah, but no. Explain, bro. Like, what is it that you have seen that Gyökeres has done, right? Because apart from just like stats aside, right? João Pedro, bro, he's creating chances, his movement, his passing, hold up play, bro. It's the whole package. Mind you,
Honestly,
he
funny.
he he's not our number nine, right? Like let's you know what I'm saying?
hmm
So yeah, bro, like explain.
Funny enough, it's not even like the statistics that I'm using to defend Gyökeres so far this season, to be honest with you. Because people would argue that he should be on more goals, um, and maybe he should, but it's everything else that he brings to the game. And it's funny, I think we saw it, and a lot of people started talking about it, at least in the Arsenal circles, and noticing it after last game, after Sunderland, when we're like, yo, this is what the absence of a Gyökeres does to the team. Like how much he's benefited us so far in terms of like his ability to occupy the center backs, right? Create space for others with his movement, with his physicality, with his runs. Bro, Dan Ballard for Sunderland and those center backs last game, they had a field day. Really, they bullied Marino out of the game. Um, so not only did they bully him physically because Marino obviously couldn't, he wasn't really up to, he's not that's not his game, right? He wasn't up to the physical battle, but also as a false nine, and I do air quotations, a false nine means you're gonna drop in, pause. You're gonna drop in deep. You're not gonna, stand on the last defender. You're not gonna stand on the shoulder of the last defender. So as a center back, I'm loving that, right? I'm not really troubled too tough. I'm not really bothered if I don't have a striker to worry about that's going to run off the shoulder or whatever. Marino was just dropping in the whole time, right? He's not really standing on the last man or on the last defender, so it doesn't really give much for the defenders to do. Whereas Gyökeres, all season we've seen, he's been pulling, like I said, he's just been pulling defenders out of position. He's been causing havoc. He's been causing that kind of trouble where it's like he's creating space for our other players. And when you saw last game when Marino played again, it's like, okay, defenders know they don't have to worry about Marino for pace, for skill, for what, you know what I mean? They're not worried about him. So now Saka's and our wingers are going to get double teamed again because Marino's not a threat. But when Gyökeres is in the team, you can't double team a Saka. You can't double team the left winger because you're worried about Gyökeres. You're focusing on Gyökeres as well. Whether he's gonna score or not, he's a threat. He's a presence in the box. He's a physical presence. He's a
Hmm.
he's got the pace to run in behind. And yeah, I think we really noticed the difference when he wasn't in the team last game. And
Mm.
it's kind of being discussed now, right? It's how people have been perceiving him has been a bit harsh, right? Yeah, he's not scoring all these goals, but man, we're really seeing now when he's out the team, it's completely different, right? It's way
Mm.
it's a lot easier for your defense if Gyökeres isn't playing. And yeah, he's just, we're top of the league and he's been part of that, right? Up until the last game. So, something's clearly working. And I think the main thing I'll say why it's working aside from the goals is just that ability to just create space for others. That's the biggest thing, right?
Right, right. Okay, so like let me just summarize and you tell me if I'm off base, right? So essentially, he's your Chris Wood.
Whoa. What how do you get that?
I mean, shit, bro. Like if I was gonna say you're Didier Drogba, but I don't know if I'm, like if that's the correct comparison there. But that aside, right? I mean, how many assists does
Statistics wise, he's closer to the DDA than Chris Wood because, you know,
mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. I always Mehrdad, to chime in whenever Drogba is mentioned. But yeah, no, how many assists does Gyökeres has, right? Because you're saying stats aside.
Yeah. Assists. I don't think I can tell you actually for a fact right now, he doesn't have any Premier League assists. I don't
Hmm.
think. I don't believe he has Premier League assists. Yeah.
no, he doesn't.
So I mean, if we're
So
looking,
what?
usually the metric for, and even I think even for attacking players, when you're assessing the performance, right? It
Yeah.
is the goals and assists, right? Like the
Yeah.
baseline, even for Ballon d'Or nominations, player of the year, right? Player of
Yeah.
the season, right? And so, I mean, on one end, you did say, right, they each share 4 goals.
Hmm.
Um, and João Pedro, I think currently has 3 assists, which puts him technically second, right? And he is tied with a bunch of other players who do have
Yeah.
3 assists, but in that regard, second in terms of assist leaders in the league currently, right?
Hmm.
And mind you, again, right? So I understand, right, what you're describing in terms of Gyökeres and what you guys have noticed um, in his absence from the Sunderland game, right? These are key attributes that I think any man leading a front line should have, right? That ability to run in behind, right?
Hmm.
Chase down or make life difficult for defenders, right? Create those spaces and whatnot. So I'm not denying that, right? And obviously, again, right? I mean, he has shown that he has the ability to score at the previous league he was at in Portugal. But the biggest concern for me with Gyökeres is for one, right? He is a full out number 9, right? He's not a. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a typical. Would I be correct in saying he's almost like a poacher type?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna bring to your point
Yeah,
about you mentioning that João Pedro has more assists, and I would expect him to
yeah.
because, as you said, João Pedro hasn't solely been playing the 9. He's been playing in the 10 a lot of the
Hmm.
games too. And
Hmm.
what's your role when you're playing in the 10? You should be assisting, right? You should be creating those chances. So that's more so going to be his job as opposed to Gyökeres' job is to actually provide assists. You know what I mean?
Right, right. No, um, so okay, I think we'd both be correct in saying that
Two different players, totally, to be honest, too.
yes, yes, yeah, no, for sure. Uh, but again, I think we would both be correct in saying that both players, I think, have not met their threshold
Hell no.
for
They
what
have
they are
not.
expected to, right? We'd be correct
Yeah,
in saying, okay.
yeah.
And yeah, and it's like you said, right? The two different players. Um, but I now this is where I would say that I think, however, despite all of that, I think João Pedro has offered a bit more, right? Despite not meeting the threshold, he has offered a bit more to Chelsea than Gyökeres to Arsenal.
Because he's been rested. He's been able to be rotated out. Gyökeres has not. He's been playing 90 minutes pretty
Mm,
much every single game. So of
mm,
course his legs are going to get heavy, right? Towards the end of the game where, you can bring on João Pedro in the 60th minute sometimes, or you can take him off and him get that rest, of course.
mm,
And the press that Gyökeres leads at the front is nothing to what João Pedro does, or any of the Chelsea players, in fact, do. The only person who does do that press is Caicedo.
mm.
So yeah, you're probably right that the optics of it is João Pedro's had more of an impact, but I think by the end of the season, if we have this conversation over again, it'll be a completely different story.
Oh, so what are you saying? That Gyökeres is gonna net in the goals? All right, so let me ask you guys this: expected goals for Gyökeres end of the season. What's the number?
20 plus in the Prem.
Whoo, whoo, whoo. Yeah, I just had to give you the ease acceleration, bro. Because shit, if that's what you guys are hinting at, that's big. That is big. 20 goals.
20
Where's he at right
goals.
now? Four. Okay, so
He needs 16,
and what would that put him at in terms of average? Because we played what, 10 games so far?
11,
11. So there's 17. No, there's
27.
27. Yeah, 27 games. Mm,
Like
so
point
yeah,
0.7
little, yeah,
goals.
yeah, a game, yeah. Hmm. And you're seeing that the trend is in that direction, or the trajectory. So
Hmm.
okay, so what has you so sure that?
Confident that he's gonna score 16 goals from now to the end of the year in the
Yeah, yeah,
Prem.
and let's assume like he's healthy for the bulk of the season, right? No injuries, like yeah,
Yeah,
truly. What are you seeing? What has he shown, right? What's the evidence thus far that, man, this is actually going to happen? Because 20
he,
goals is a lot, especially for a guy in his first season, right?
I mean, it's 16 more goals. He already has four.
Mhm,
16 more goals. He's gonna finally get the rest that he needs, and he's gonna be able to be rotated with Kai Havertz in certain games where Kai would be better to start, and then in the 60th, 70th minute when all the defenders are super tired, you toss on a bulldozer, and he's gonna be able to get in there. And with tired legs, imagine like you start with like an Eze, Havertz, Saka, 60th minute, you bring on Martinelli and Gyökeres. That's gonna
mm,
cause a different style of havoc, right? And some
mm,
of the games that we have to play, it's going to bode well to him. So from that aspect, and from what I've seen from the eye test, each week he's getting better and better, understanding the positioning, understanding he's built building those connections. He understands what Saka's going to do. He's in
mm,
the right spots, but you can tell that his legs are just heavy. He hasn't
mm,
had a rest. So
mm,
for me, while I agree with you, 20 goals in the Prem is a lot, he only needs 16 more, right? What if he has a couple multi-goal games, which I think he definitely can do against like Leeds, West Ham. We still have to play Sunderland at home. There's so many different games that are going to be coming up that I'm going to be like, okay,
mm.
you know, a la Chelsea, playing a weak defensive opponent like that.
Ha ha.
Hmm.
Ah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. No, I mean, jokes aside,
I mean, you guys are weak defensively. It's not a joke. It's a fact.
sure, sure, sure. You come test out the defense, on November 30th. You there's no need for a free trial, a demo. You can test out the product, right? In hand, in house, and you see how you like it, right? Right? Because thus far, right? I don't think you guys have personally gone against. When's the last time we played you guys? It was last season, correct?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, last season, right? And I mean, there's still how many more weeks till the game, right? Still a lot of things, bro. A lot of game game time, game film to be analyzed for the players, a lot of coaching sessions, a lot of one-on-ones, training on, off the pitch, right? Like, right, so there's still a lot of time for these players to come in, sharpen, right? Maybe who knows? We might even get the likes of John Terry to make an appearance in the locker room, right? And give our back line a few pointers, right? Uh, I mean, you guys laugh, but hey, usually those are the things you do have happen, right? At elite clubs, right? You have the alumni that come back, especially when they notice that
Hmm.
you guys think I'm like BSing, but no, like these are actual
No,
things.
I don't think you're BSing. I just wonder what you
Yeah,
think that John Terry is gonna do to all of a sudden turn, Chalaba into friggin'
bro. I
Cannavaro.
mean, listen, you'd be surprised, bro. What a good I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen what was it, Luis Enrique, right, giving the speech to
Yeah, yeah.
Mbappe. Funny enough, right? It seems like it didn't work out too hard for him. But if that's the type of right, and that's the manager, right? That's the type of speech, right? Like he's vocalizing to his players. And heck, we saw what the performance was like with PSG last season, right? So that's usually what leadership can do, right? It can change attitude, right? And I think that's the most important part
Can I
for
ask you
players.
a
Hey man,
question, Laurent?
if you think John Terry is gonna come back and be the reason why you guys all of a sudden become this formidable back line, then
I'm
John Terry now at fucking
mhm.
40 something years old is probably still better than all your center backs as we speak.
I'm not, listen, I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is I'm saying is especially when you look at the defensive errors that Chelsea have made, these are very coachable things. Let's right, we can all agree to that. The defensive errors that Chelsea have made this season, especially when we highlight the red cards, which in fact were very key in the losses that Chelsea have suffered
Hmm.
in the Premier League. These are things that are highly coachable. You can have a veteran player, someone that is respected in the club, right, under the establishment that can come in and give pointers to these players. Yes,
I
this
agree,
can
but
very
that can only go so far, bro. You think Arsenal legends haven't come in over the years when we've been at our worst and spoken to the players and tried to get them going and tried to get them up? It hasn't returned anything in terms of like tangible success. That goes for all the clubs, right? Sir Alex Ferguson goes to every game at Old Trafford, like you know what I mean. Like there's club legends are still in and around these clubs, but there's only so much they can do in terms of having a voice and having a say.
no,
I
I mean,
guarantee you,
mhm,
between now and
mhm.
the end of the season, Chelsea defenders will continue to make more mistakes. And take it from us as Arsenal fans who've been there when our back line was literally fucking, banter FC once upon a
Mm.
time. There's only so much you can coach a Mustafi. Take it from me. We've been there. We've been through the mud with these guys. There's only so much you can actually coach a Mustafi, a Bellerin, a Rob Holding, these guys who are just bozos, at the back.
Mm.
At some point, you just need to replace it with better quality. That's the solution. And you as a Chelsea fan should know that. The rinse and repeat. When it doesn't work, just splash the cash and keep buying, buying, buying. Because
I
I'm
mean, for
telling you
one, I
now,
don't
you're
think we have
talking
a
about.
Mustafi in our back line, bro. Let's just right.
Yeah.
I do not think that yeah, we have whatever you just described in our back line,
Well,
right?
the common theme with that is like is ill discipline, right? Bozo gene, making errors leading to goals. That's what Mustafi was known for. And I'm confident that you guys will have defenders in your team that are going to continue to do that between now and the end of the season. Like I don't think that's done. That's a thing of
Listen,
the
you
past.
you guys said the same thing about Sanchez. You guys
Yeah,
said the
you
exact
don't get my opinion. I still
yeah,
don't rate that
yeah,
guy
yeah,
too
wait,
heavily.
hold on. You guys said the exact same things about Sanchez. Man United, right, were practically at this point lynching or ready to lynch Harry Maguire. The guy was a meme, a complete laughing stock, right? Right? Like I can honestly say that Harry Maguire, I think, symbolized what it meant to be a meme in the Premier League, in football. No one rated him, right? And but guess what? Somehow, some way, a player like that managed to find right his footing, and suddenly it's like almost like a complete different player. So
In terms of what though? Like, what do you mean? Like you're acting like he turned it around and now he's like,
I'm
Man
saying he's
United captain,
no. I'm
not even
saying
in the England squad.
he's definitely not making the errors that he was making. Just like Sanchez, right? A lot of like the errors that Sanchez was making, he's definitely not making till this day. He has improved, which is why, right? There was a point where Maresca was switching him out, rotating him with other keepers, but now this is not the case, right? He is the starting keeper simply because the manager has seen that he's not making those mistakes anymore, right? So yeah, I understand. Of course, if you have a serious quality issue, right, and that's I think that's one point, right? You have a serious quality issue where you realize, and I think even Arteta has said it, right? Like I can show a player, I can tell him, right? If the player has the ability, I don't know if you guys seen that video, right? Like, he highlighted three things, right? Um, but in some cases, players have the ability to change. Everyone has the ability to change in life. Like you know what I mean? You can be a complete fuck up one day, and if you just build through a series of momentum, slow wins, right? Disciplined behavior, you can become someone phenomenal in life. So, right, that's not exclusive to anyone, right? And I think honestly, like that the players that we have, right? You could argue that yeah, maybe they're not world class, but again, I don't think it's even in certain aspects of sports, bro, if you have a good coach, a good team, a good system, sometimes you don't even need world class players in all, like you know what I mean, to win or to like. And I think even Ferguson, I think, has shown that through his winning days, right? Bro, he managed to win over the course of with guys that I forgot how they were even described at the time, right? But you know, these are typical guys, but it's just the effort, right? The
I
effort that
surely I hope. Sorry to cut you off. Surely, I'm not misunderstanding, but surely you're
Mhm.
not comparing. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Surely you're not comparing Enzo Maresca to Sir Alex Ferguson.
No,
Okay, thank God.
no. But what
Um,
I'm saying is that so long as you have right the right tools in place, you can coach players beyond a certain ability to the point where those players become, and there's a reason why there's even awards for most improved, right? Because some people, bro, they don't even they bloom late. They are like, there's all sorts of reasons. And
to
then you
be, yeah,
Mhm,
I hear what you're saying. Sorry to cut you off. I hear what you're saying,
mhm.
but to be honest with you, I think the only thing that Enzo has learned is one, he doesn't have another option outside of Sanchez, and taking him in and out is only going to hurt his confidence. So he's just gonna stick with him and ride and die with him. But
I wouldn't put it so cut and dry like how you're trying to phrase it, because but I see what you're trying to say, but I wouldn't describe the situation as such.
can I ask you a question though?
Yeah, yeah.
When was the last time Chelsea beat Arsenal?
That's a good question. Um, I mean, I'd probably be more inclined to say that that was before the Abramovich era. But hold on, let's
I have the date for you. I just want to see if you know. It's been a few years. I'll tell you that much.
hmm.
Yeah, keep scrolling, bud.
Is it 2017?
Nope. No, a little after that.
No,
2021.
2021.
That was the last time that Chelsea beat Arsenal in the Premier League. In that time, Arsenal's had a 5-0 win, 4-2 win, 3-1 win, couple 1-0s.
Wait, what date 2021 or month specifically?
I think I remember that game. It was at the Emirates,
August
right?
22nd, 2021 at the Emirates,
Yeah, it
2-0.
was at the Emirates. I remember that. Lukaku, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
That was the
Right,
last time you guys beat us.
yeah, so and I think that coincides with the tumultuous time, right? Because again, right, I like to do what you like to do and spice in some context into that, right? When I'm
When you beat us, that was the last time. It was tumultuous times for.
no, so I'm saying, right, like that was around the time when I believe Abramovich and the whole sanctions, and because he was forced to sell the club in around that, yeah, around that period. It must have been around that period, which is why
So
I said even before the Abramovich era.
yeah, but
hmm
hold on.
So what I'm saying, there
That,
was high instability within the club, right? So
yeah, but you
there's
guys
a
were able to beat us, and if you're talking about high instability, let me name you our backline and tell me if you know any of these players. Burn Leno, you should know Burn Leno. Cedric Soares, do you know who that is?
Gosh.
nope, nope,
Do you know who Rob Holding is?
nope.
Do you know who Pablo Murray is?
My gosh.
You know who Kieran Tierney is?
Yeah.
You know who Sambi Lokonga is?
Nope.
Well, the next few players you should know: Granit Xhaka,
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Pepe,
Mm-hmm.
Emil Smith Rowe,
Mm-hmm.
Saka,
Mm-hmm.
and Martinelli.
Okay.
So if you're saying it's tumultuous times, let me name the roster for this tumultuous time. Mendy in net, Rudiger, Christensen, Zappaqueta, Reece James, Jorginho, Kovacic, Alonso, Mason Mounts, Kai Havertz, Lukaku.
Sounds like a pretty good team to me.
Sounds like a pretty decent team.
Who's
And you guys had Timo Werner off the bench, Hakim Ziyech off the bench, and oh wait, a World Cup winner in N'Golo Kante. And we were
wait, hold on. Wait, was it the game we beat you guys? Is that
yes, yes, that was the last time you beat us.
okay, yeah. But I'm saying like the tumultuous time didn't happen then. I think he was forced to sell the club, right? That was 2021, you said, correct?
Yes.
Yes. I think he was forced to sell the club 2022. So what I'm saying is, past that point, right, it was rough waters. Essentially is
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
even
saying.
before that point, you guys were struggling to beat us.
All right,
20,
what are the stats? What are the stats on that? Let's hear it.
20 all-time record. Arsenal's beat Chelsea way more. The record is like 83 wins to you
Okay.
guys 40 wins or something.
Okay. And was that during the because I know there's a period where you guys had your little stint at dominance, right? Like again, right? Like show me the data set. When are those wins or those data points? Are they distributed over eras, right? Right? Because again, the context matters, right? I'm assuming the bulk of those wins came in at when you guys were at the peak, right? Like the invincible eras, right?
So we were in our peak in 2020 and 2021 when we were beating you.
No, but that's again because you're saying you said 80 wins, right? What was how many wins you said? 80?
Let me.
Yeah, so now I need to see how the data set is distributed, right? For it to make sense.
So Arsenal have won
What's this guy's
84
active?
times. Chelsea's won 66.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, look at that. Where those 20 wins come from for us? You said 40 last time I checked.
Um, in the Premier League, Arsenal's won 70 times
Mm-hmm.
and drew 52. So you guys and lost 54. FA Cup, Arsenal's beaten you 10 times. We've only lost 5 times. EFL Cup, you guys have won 4. We've won 3. Community Shield, we're even. So all time is 84 wins, 61 draws, 66 losses. So you guys have 66 wins.
Okay,
When
so
you
20 less wins than you guys.
so what years are you alluding to? Because when I'm looking at this, it goes dates back all the way to 1992,
Okay, now we're talking, right?
and we've
Because
been whooping your ass since 1992.
right. So again, right? Because you guys are the guys with all the history and all the glory, as you like to say, right? Um, so I would again, we'd have to fact check this, but I would argue that the majority of those results did not come during the era that Chelsea was most dominant. In
So
that
between 2012 and 2017, you guys beat us one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 times.
hmm
We drew one, two, 3 times, and we beat you once. So that's the era where Chelsea was dominant.
well, that's not even like let's go back a bit. Like go back to the early, not too early 2000, but the mid 2000s.
We
Um,
dominated you
yeah, I need to see like what's how's the data distributed there.
from. So if you want me to go from 2003 to 2007, for example, you guys only beat us 3 times.
And how many times have you guys won?
We won 4 times and we drew 5 times,
So 4 wins for you guys, 5 draws, and we beat you guys once, you said?
twice.
Twice. Okay, so two less. So again, right? Like I assume the bulk of all that data is coming before that. Like we're going, right? Like
But it's also present day too. We've done, like I told you, the last time that you guys beat us in this era was
yes,
2021.
and I don't disagree. And again, if we're talking about the most recent era, like I said, tumultuous times, tumultuous time, babies, right? Like you see what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like it's like, bro, what do you want, bro? Like,
it's okay. It's okay. Let's.
I'm not denying the facts. I'm just providing the context, right? Like you like to do. I'm just providing the context for so that for the viewers at home, for those that just tuned in at what hour mark are we, right?
30 minutes in.
Yeah,
30
30
minutes.
minutes in, right? That don't have the full background and that they're hearing that Arsenal's been slapping Chelsea left, right, and center, right? I'm giving you guys the context for why those losses were incurred, right? And essentially, right, that yes, Arsenal has had for one a strong club early 2000s, right? In the 90s, those eras, and the tide has swung in Chelsea's favor, right? As he has shown, right? When you told me that
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
what?
Sorry, I had to chime in. The tide has swung in Chelsea's favor in terms like now Chelsea's on top. Is that what you're saying?
No, 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 not now, not now.
Okay,
There's a
okay, okay.
brief period, and again, right? It has swung back, and currently, right? Like if we're looking back at, I think you said 2021 to now we're now 2025. So I think those 4 years after that win, our last win, um, for us, it was pure instability, pure chaos, right? I think now we've had a manager in Maresca, right, that has been there, I think, for the longest turner, from what I can recall, in terms of our recent managers. So now it's time for stability, and with
So can I ask
stability
you this?
is going to
With
come an
so,
ass whooping come November
okay.
30th. That's what
So
I'm saying.
so before we move on from this, because I want to get into the content for the viewers, what are you gonna say November 30th? Stability, all this bullshit you're spewing, and you lose.
Listen, I ain't gonna say shit because we're not losing that game, bro. We're not losing that game. We're not losing that game. Ch- Chelsea is not losing that game. So there's
Huh?
not gonna be anything for me to say.
Clip this. Clip
Yeah.
this part.
Well,
But I'm curious
viewers,
though, what are you gonna say when you guys get dealt with?
I mean, like, good job. It took you 5 years to beat us.
Mm, okay. Yeah,
5 years and $2 billion.
of us, just getting our stability back, right?
Even when Arsenal was in their tumultuous times, we were beating you.
Oh my gosh.
We were, we were beating you with a backline of Rob Holding and Pablo Mari and Cedric Soares. So I mean, like
What year was that you said?
2021. Because in the reverse
Mm,
fixture, we beat you.
mm.
So our tumultuous times, having an 18-year-old Saka, we were beating you.
Hey man, you see what's a strong household, a stable household is a powerful one, man, as they say. So you know what I mean? Like that's why I listen. I applaud those the clubs that have the stability, right? And I think the most recent example of that is Manchester United, right? And I think everyone can agree to that. What instability looks like, right? Where there's chaos, managers coming in and out, right? System changes, right? Infrastructure that simply isn't there. And look at the club. But now look, right? They're putting a bit of faith. Maybe we let this guy, right? We give him some time. And suddenly it seems like the results are starting to show, right? The performance. And it reflects that, right? It reflects a strong foundation. So I credit you guys, right, for what you've done, the stability that you guys have managed to gather. Because I know your time. I think even when Wenger left, right, um, it wasn't the best of time for you guys, right? But now you're here, 6 years, right, under Arteta.
Hmm.
So yeah, man.
Well, speaking of the 6 years, hopefully, listeners, viewers, you made it to well, what are we at? 34 minutes in. Um, Interlull, international interlull. What we thought we'd do for you guys is if you've been following us on YouTube, there's been a poll that's posted every single day regarding the Emirates 11. So we give you four options. You can vote on it, and next week we will post the Emirates 11 voted by the fans. Today, CJ and I will share our Emirates 11. I'm sure there's going to be some hot topics with certain positions. And then Mr. Piana, I'm sure he's just gonna say Lukaku for every position or
Uh,
DDA for every.
shit, shit. How do you know?
Oh shit. Um, but yeah, if you haven't voted yet, please go vote. I believe right now we have the keepers and the right back, and then the center back pairings are next. So if you every day is gonna be posted by 9 a.m. We'd love for you to participate. But without further ado, CJ, would you like me to start first, 4-3-3, with our keeper?
Yeah, man. By all means. By all means. So how are we going about this? You're gonna run through your 11s and we're gonna do ours
I
kind
was
of thing. Like
I
how
was
we?
gonna say position by position,
Okay,
just to make it
okay,
more interesting.
okay. Cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Um, you okay to start with a keeper?
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with my Emirates all-time 11. I'm gonna have to go with Wojciech Szczesny.
Well, you weren't joking.
I was not joking at all. Um, I think for the multiple years that he played, the stability that he gave us, and the way that he took over that position. I think there was a strong shout for David Raya, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I don't really like maybe Peter Cech. Like that was another shout for me. But for me, Chesney was a no-brainer.
Mm. I like this. Yeah, already we're gonna start off on a disagreement. I'm going David Raya. I have to. We've had such a shit selection of keepers to choose from in this Emirates era. Heck, you know what? Next break or next interval, whatever, we're gonna have to do the worst Emirates 11 too, because that'll be like 10 times harder than the best Emirates 11. You know what I mean? Because the Emirates, man, it's nice, beautiful stadium, whatever, but this Emirates era has not brought us any like glory in terms of trophy success so
No,
far, and it's just been pure banter and just pure the names that you were running through when you were listing off like the back line that played when we last played Chelsea in 2021, I'm just getting like flashbacks and nightmares of just like the
David
players that we
Ospina.
had. He actually, to be fair, he wasn't bad, man. He was not too bad. But we've
Oh,
had some shambolic keepers over the years, man.
oh,
Manuel Almunia, the guy who
oh
cost
my,
us the Champions League final. Like, yo,
oh,
there's a shout for Jens Lehmann, obviously, but Jens Lehmann, his best was like pre
yeah.
Emirates when he was at Highbury. So yeah, the fact that we haven't had too many good selections to choose from, we've had some shit keepers over the years. It's got to be David Raya for me. Back to back Golden Gloves, um, and just like the way he's come in and been the most stable keeper I think we've had. Wojciech Szczesny's a good shout. He probably would have been up there for me too. But I think he's gotten better since he's left Arsenal. He's
He
done really
did.
well at Barcelona. You know what I mean? He's fine. He's what's the
He
expression? He's
matured.
with no, what's the wine expression again?
Age, age like fine
He's
wine.
like fine
Yes,
one.
yeah, yes, correct. Yeah, I think he's that. Yeah, he had good spells at Juve and he's done well at Barca. So he still had like some again that bozo gene in him at Arsenal. For as good as he was, he had those moments that just like,
Yeah.
bro, what are you doing? So for me, I think David Raya.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm not too certain we'll argue with this one. I think we may have the same person. Um, for my right back, I gotta go with Bakary Sanya.
Hmm.
I gotta go with Bakary. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. Um, I feel like you went with a more recent right back. Um, but I think Bakary Sanya deserves a shout for this because he was probably he was in the Emirates era. I think he was the most consistent right back that we had. And then once he left, it was like a crapshoot. Cedric Soares, Hector Bellerin, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Um, who else do we have? Takahiro Tomiyasu. Like it was just a crapshoot.
Carl Jenkinson, remember him?
Oh my God, yeah, Jenkinson.
Lish,
Oh,
yeah.
Callum Chambers.
Lish Steiner, remember
Yeah.
him?
Yeah. Oh yeah, but he was good before he came to Arsenal.
He was, yeah.
He was good
Do you
before he came to
remember? Do you
Arsenal.
remember Manuel Eboué? I don't know if you remember that guy
Yes, yes. He
from
was like
Ivory
early
Coast.
on though, early 2000s,
Really?
Aboué.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He kind of, yeah, he came through in the Emirates era at the beginning too.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, man. It'll be harder for us to do a worse Emirates 11 because we've had so many poor players over the years in the Emirates, man. It's fuck. But yeah, to be honest with you, no, man, I fully agree with you. Bakary Sagna was my pick as well. And you know what's funny? Like, I'm trying my best not to include like we can fill a best Emirates 11 with this current team because, like I said, the gap in terms of quality from our Emirates era over the years has just been so like this current team. Again, credit to what Arteta's built. Again, this current team, if they continue doing what they're doing, we can see a lot of these guys becoming Arsenal legends if they win trophies, right?
Yeah.
So again, we've just been so poor that you can probably fill a best Emirates 11 with most of the current crop of players. My argument against that is that they haven't done it long enough, right?
Correct.
And honestly, I think Yuri and Timber is going to go on to be a much better right back than anybody we've ever had. Like, and I
Yep.
include like the '90s, Lee Dixon and those guys. Like, if he continues on this trajectory, he's going to be the best right back we've ever seen at the club. He
Yep.
just hasn't done it long enough. But for everything that you said in terms of longevity, consistency, yeah, Sagna is the guy for me too. I agree with that.
Do you want to do the center backs as a pairing or do you want to do like individual?
Um, I didn't group mine based on pairing. I grouped it based on individuals, but
Individual? Okay.
yeah,
We can do individual. My right center back, I gotta go with our boy, Willie. I gotta do it. I just
well,
think the way that he's been able to, there was a time when we purchased him and he was out on loan and he was, everyone was talking about, oh, he's so good, he's so this. To me, I was like, okay, if he's so good, then why is he not on the team? Like, what's the holdup? And then
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
him
yeah.
that first year and seeing how he dominated, then going back and at the time I wasn't really doing much research, but then going back and watching some of the clips and watching how he was playing against Mbappe when he was tearing it up in the French league and how he was able to stop him, or slow him down at least. To me, I think in the Emirates era, for me at least, and I might be wrong in saying this, but I think he's our best right-sided center back that we've ever had. Per Mertesacker was a very close shout for me because of just his leadership. But I think the other person that I picked for my left center back kind of fills that gap. So for me, the right center back is Saliba.
You have me wondering who you're gonna pick for your left center back. But yeah, yeah. No, you know what? Again, no debates over that one. I think again, no brainer, man. But just the defenders we've had over the years, bro. It just is the gap is just is massive, man. So it's a no brainer, bro. Saliba's in there. There's not much more to say. Again, he's just another one of those guys where he's already in there because of how poor the standards have been.
Yeah.
That's why I just finished talking about longevity, and lack of. But already a couple seasons in, the standards have been so poor, and just he doesn't need too long to already be considered the best center back for the Emirates era because he's just head and shoulders above anyone who's ever played in that position at the Emirates, and so yeah, he slots right in there for sure.
And Laurent, if you feel like if there's any player that you're like, oh, you're missing on this person, like feel free to stop us. Don't think
Mm.
that you can't contribute because you bring good value to and good analysis to it. So
I'd
feel
actually be
free.
curious. I'd be curious to know if Laurent who Laurent rates from the Emirates 11. But yeah,
Left-sided center back.
it's only one answer, man.
There is only one answer. Koscielny.
I knew you were gonna say Koscielny.
Dude, he was. I don't agree with the way that he left a
Mm.
sour taste, but he was one of the most influential players. When he was out and he was not playing, our back line was in shambles.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was pre Gabriel. This was, like we had Pablo Mari back there, David Luiz, Socrates. Like this man was the person who was able to provide stability, right? He was doing what Saliba's doing now back then, and he was holding it down. Um, there was a close shot for Thomas Vermaelen as well because he had a few seasons where I was like,
Yeah, I
you know,
remember him.
Like he had a couple good seasons. Like he moved on and went to Barca, which I think was a wrong move for his career because then that's when everything went downhill. Um, but Koscielny for me, I think Gabriel is a very close second. I was debating between the two, but I think for the longevity wise, it's Koscielny for me. But if Gabriel is able to, you know, win a trophy like a major trophy this year, I think he would push Koscielny out for me, but for me it was like I had to pick Koscielny just for the leadership and everything in the back line that he brought. Um, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's funny because yeah, we if we agreed on every one of these positions, it would become pretty boring, to be honest with you. So that's what we're here for, to bring up, the hot takes, the controversial topics. But I mean, yeah, some would say this one isn't even controversial, but yeah, for me, again, it's another no-brainer. It's Gabrielle, and I think it should be. And I think it's one of those ones for me, like honorable mention to Koscielny for everything that you said. I think at a time where we had such poor defenders, I felt bad for Koscielny at times because he was
Yeah.
the only real mainstay, the only real consistent one amongst a bunch of mediocre players around him. And for a good while, Per Mertesacker and Koscielny had a good thing going, a good partnership. Um, but yeah, you know what? Like again, he was good. He definitely was good. But again, there were moments where he did cost us in games. I
Mm-hmm.
remember specifically the 2011, I think it was, Carling Cup final. We played against Birmingham and we lost. He was at fault for a calamitous mistake.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I don't know what mans were saying them times. I don't know if you were around, if you were following the lads them times, but yeah, man, like back then, we're going all the way back. I know it's quite way back in history, but I remember exactly where I was at the time. I was at a tournament with the Toronto Lynx in the States, and I remember just seeing that and watching that, and I'm like, bro, at that time we were in another trophy drought, and I'm like, dude, this is our one chance to like get our first trophy in a while, and a combination of a calamity, mistakes at the back between Koscielny and Chesney cost us, and we lost that Carling Cup final to fucking Birmingham of all clubs. Um, and he's had a couple other moments here and there, like for as consistent as he was, he had a few errors that would lead to goals at crucial times for us. One as most recent as I think his last year. I don't know if you remember, we under Emery. No, it was Wenger's last season. Europa League semifinal. We played Atletico Madrid at home.
Yep.
We lost to Atletico, and Griezmann scored the goal and did the
Mm-hmm.
fucking the game. I forgot what game that is. The celebration on our field. Um,
Fucking
um, but yeah, I don't know if you remember. He tried to do like an overhead kick, or like he did like some stupid play. He was last man back and tried to
like
flick the ball
why?
over his head, and it cost us. And then Griezmann was in on goal and scored. Like little things like that. And then I think the way he left in the end, yeah, that probably left a
Yeah.
bitter taste. A bitter
Oh,
taste.
big time. Like, dude,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what,
That
you're just
video that he
gonna
put out too, remember?
like
With yeah. So that put definitely a bitter taste, for sure. And I'm a little bit salty about that because I was like, dude, fuck you. Like we gave you the platform to thrive when you were a nobody,
Mhm.
got you in the France squad, this and that. But yeah, it has to be Gabriel for me. And when we talk about longevity, I think Gabriel has just enough longevity to be put in there because yeah, it seems like this is modern times and recency bias, but Gabriel's been around with us for a long time. He came in right at the beginning with Arteta pretty much, so he's almost been there through the trenches, with
'cause he came
Arteta from the jump.
2021, right?
I think 2020 even 2020. I think he's been here for 5 years, man. Um, and as I say that, Gabriel was one of Arteta's first signings, along with Thomas Partey. And that was like the start of the shift in the caliber and quality and mentality of player that we were trying to bring in.
Yeah,
Gabriel
2020. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Gabriel was still playing at the time when we had the Rob Holdings and the Bellerins and the Socrates and you know what I mean? He didn't come in right now like like Declan Rice did or like Gyökeres did, or you're coming in now and you're already playing with class players. Gabriel was one of Arteta's first signings, and Gabriel was around when we were still pretty much Banter FC, and Gabriel's looking around and he's seeing players that are mediocre around him. You know what I mean? So he was one of those guys he was there from the beginning. He was there, like I said, he one of Arteta's first signings, and I think he's going to go on to be one of Arteta's best signings in terms of value
Yeah.
for money, right? That guy cost us what 20 something mil,
Mm-hmm.
and right now he's probably one of the top three, top four center backs in the world. He probably goes for like close to 100 mil now.
Yeah.
Um, so credit to him. He's been there. Like I said, he's been there at the beginning when we were rough, and going through it. Two eighth place finishes in a row, and now he's in a title race, and nobody deserves to lift the title more than that guy, man. He's a warrior, and I think him and Koscielny are similar in terms of what they bring. That's why this was a difficult decision, because Koscielny could probably play in this iteration of Arsenal's team because he's
Yes.
quick, right? He's,
Yep.
he was a quick athletic center back. He was good on the ball, and he scored goals. Pretty much everything Gabriel is doing now. You know,
Yep.
but I just think Gabriel is just that bit of a level above, to be honest with you. And yeah, man, that partnership has got to be in there, Saliba and Gabby together.
Fair enough. Um, this is where I kind of had a little bit of difficulty
Me
with
too.
the
Yeah.
left back. Um, I was debating between, and I don't mind telling you, I was debating between Nacho Monreal and Gael Clichy. It was yeah, I don't know. There was just something about Monreal, the way that he would pop up with those goals. Like whenever it almost seemed like whenever I would watch Monreal or whenever I would watch Arsenal when Monreal was here, it was like whenever we needed a goal or whenever we needed, a clutch moment, he was always in the middle of it somehow. I don't know why, but it just always seemed like he was in the middle of it. But I think if I look at like if I'm being honest with myself and like technicality and like the way the player was, I think Gael Clichy was way better. So I did end up going with Clichy, but those were the two people that I was really debating on. And Kieran Gibbs, as much as people made fun of him, like I think there was a season, only one season that he played quite well, and then he just
Yeah.
fell off. Like he just completely fell off, and it was just like, what happened to you? You had so much potential.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I ended up going with Gael Clichy, but Nacho Monreal was like very, very close for me.
Mm. So for me, I'll tell you who it was between for me. Actually, first I'll tell you who my guy is in my Emirates 11 left back, and it's Kieran Tierney.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, 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 KT man. But for me,
Wow.
it was between KT and Nacho Monreal. Gael Clichy for me he wasn't in the mix. He wasn't in contention. Um, Nacho Monreal was in contention for me because of his consistency. He was a really, good servant to the club for us. I think he was more consistent than Clichy because at times where Clichy's best, let's put it this way, Clichy's best I think was better than Monreal's best. But Clichy didn't show it on a consistent enough basis. He actually pissed me
Hmm.
off quite a lot, Clichy. I felt like he had a lot of lapses of concentration. And again, the bozo gene that was just circling in the air around Arsenal defenders in that time period. He just had mental lapses of concentration. He used to get skinned, I remember, by wingers at times. Like he just, he wasn't the best of defenders. He was really good going forward, not the best of defenders per se, and he would just have moments where he would just switch off. So whilst again, Clichy could perform at an 8 or 9 out of 10 level, and Monreal was always at a 7, let's
Hmm.
say, or maybe even an 8. I think Montreal's, he was a 7 out of 10 more than he was a 3 or 4 out of 10. Because Clichy
Yeah.
could be an 8 out of 10, but he could some days be off, like awful, and be like a 3 or 4. Where I think
Yeah.
Nacho had more consistent performances. Um, but again, KT is the main guy for me, and again, I think that's because revolutionized is a strong word, but he changed that position. Like again, even under early Arteta, late Emery into early Arteta, bro. If you remember at one point in time, Kieran Tierney was our main attacking outlet. I don't know if
He was
that
supposed
says
to
a
be
lot
the
about how,
captain.
bro. I don't know if that says a lot about how poor we were at the time that our left back was our main threat. But do you remember, bro?
Mhm.
Everything we used to go through Kieran Tierney for as long as he was fit. We used to
Yeah.
he was our attacking outlet on that left side, bombing up and down the flank, and we didn't get too much out of him, but it was efficiency. That Drake expression, like I'm not here for a good what is it? I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
And he definitely was not here for a long time because he was always injured and he had stints out on the touchline. But when he played, he gave everything, and I think again his performance at his best,
Yeah.
he's just the all around modern left back, right? He's got
Hmm.
everything. He's got work rate up and down the flank. He's got attacking quality. He could defend. I think he's just yeah. He if he didn't get injured, he would have gone on, I think, to be
Yeah.
a legend at left back for us. I actually
Wow. Oh, sorry.
and sorry to cut you off there. I think because I'm as we're talking about the defenders, and I know this ties into the Chelsea segment. So I kind of wanted to see. I don't know if you want to do it this way. It's just we can get Laurent in as well. Let's break it up by section. So
Sure.
before we go on to midfields, I think Laurent should come in and give us like his back line and goalkeeper for Chelsea. So we'll kind of do it that way, and then when
Yeah.
he's finished that, we'll go into midfield back to us, and then kind of go on it like that.
Well,
All
for
right.
him, it's gonna be Lukaku the entire.
Yeah, man. It's that's actually Lukaku in every position, bro. 99 strength. That's that's all you need. But yeah, no. Peter Cech, man, Peter Cech. That has to be said. You also have like could argue Courtois, but nah, I'm gonna go
Mm.
Peter Cech. Right back, Ivanovic for me.
Yeah, yeah, I like
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that guy is just solid, classical right back, right? Old school. Just straight down to business. No fancy shit, right? Like you can count on him to the clear the ball, right? Defend the line up and down. And he's actually very strong.
hmm
Yeah, super strong as well as a player.
What I
Left
liked
back.
about
Mhm.
sorry to cut you off, what I liked about Ivanovic too is like it's crazy because he wasn't built like a fullback. You know what I mean? He was almost built more like a center back. So you
Yeah.
Yes.
would think at
Yeah.
those times when you put him at
Yeah.
right back, he would get done for pace against like
Yep.
a small, fast, quick winger. It was almost
hmm
like a mismatch. But you would never ever see him get
hmm
outrun, outmuscled, or anything
hmm
like that. You know what I mean?
A lot
He was
too
a
is just
tank.
positioning too, right? If you're not
Yeah.
fast, then you're definitely counting on your positioning, right? Relative to where the ball is at all time, where the other players are on the pitch. And sometimes that's all you need, man. Like you actually don't have to be as fast
Mm,
as some other players, right? To be able to survive if you know how to position yourself, right?
mm.
But yeah, no, the left back, right? You guys already know Ashley Cole.
Yeah, who? Sorry, we don't know that name, bro.
Yeah, word.
Sorry,
There's a
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah,
static, Laurent. Sorry.
yeah. I mean, sorry, bro.
we don't say that name on this podcast, bro. That's a swear word on this pod.
Yeah, saying he chose the right side. Let's just say that. He came to the right club. He made the right decision. That's what we leave it at that.
Ashley Cole, but yeah.
Eh, and then for my left center back, I'm gonna say Carvalho. Um, yeah,
Good
one of
shout.
the back there. Yeah, Carvalho, and then right beside him, John Terry.
Yep.
Yeah, John Terry. The boy who's gonna, give us the pep talk
There we go.
before November 30th, right? So, yeah. And then now you want the midfield, right?
Yeah, we can
Sure.
swing it around back to midfield if
Oh
you
wait,
want to
did you
start
guys
off
already
from.
give the midfield or no?
No.
Okay,
No,
yeah. So
no.
you guys go. Yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
those are my guys.
Um, number six. Because we're doing a 4-3-3. My number six. Okay, so here's my issue with this because there's a few players that occasionally played number six, and then there's players that were permanently number six. And like it was I mean it gets even harder for like the right aid and left aid, but for me this player was is what we've been looking for um since I would even say like since a Patrick Vieira. Um just the dominance and the physicality. Gilberto Silva was a very close second for me. And I think if Thomas Partey wasn't as injured, he probably would have been my first pick. But I have to go with Declan. I have to do it because I think if I'm picking the Emirates 11, like he would not be my left eight. He would be the six because I think the versatility, the power, and you can just rely on him to be there to just spoil any attack. Like remember 2 years ago when it was him versus pretty much the Liverpool attacking line and he like snuffed it out. Like
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
you're not like Granit Xhaka would not be there. Thomas Partey would not be there. Like Alex Song would not be there. So for me, it had to be Deckers.
Mm, interesting. Okay, give me your other two because I kind of fucked this up if
It
that's how we're
was
going about it.
Gilberto Silva was my other one.
Sorry, not in the number six. Go
Oh
with
my
your give me your midfield three.
my midfield three.
Yeah, yeah.
I had Cesc as my right eight. or
Okay.
left 8, whichever, and then I had Ozil as the
Okay.
other side.
That's your attacking midfielder?
Yeah, so for me it was Rice, Cesc, and Ozil.
Oh, I see how you did it. So you did your midfield three based on like Arteta's current system, one
Yeah,
holder and then the.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Like I was considering because originally what I want like I was thinking like do I do like this is where I was like do I leave Declan Rice out and then put Cesc, Cazorla, Ozil? But then in my head, I'm like, who the hell's gonna be the defender? Who's gonna be the one to go back? I know Cesc did it a little bit because he took over Patrick Vieira's role, but that's not what he was like. That's not what I remember him as, right? I don't remember him as the shutdown defender, right? And as much as I don't want to leave Cazorla out, like Cesc was like he is what for me when I think of Arsenal and what yes Thierry was the one, but like for me when I think of Arsenal, the excitement it was seeing someone that was so young that was able to get into that role and kick somebody older out. Because when I started playing with my brother and like all his older friends, because he's 10 years older than me, to me it was like that's my idol. Because someone was so young and he just came in and he's like, I'm gonna kick you out of your position and I'm gonna take over the team, right? So to me, I couldn't leave Cesc out. And then Ozil, like you don't need to like nothing needs to be said. His
Mm,
name alone, I don't want to hear anyone say, "Oh, well, he was lazy, he was this, he was that." No, he wasn't. People never say Messi's lazy, but he just knows exactly where to be. And Prime Ozil knew exactly where to be, and he changed our attack single-handedly. And the way that he would connect with Alexis Sanchez and the way that he would control the midfield. Sure, towards the end of his career, he got lazy, but I mean, like, dude, he played at the biggest of stages. So that's how I picked my midfield three. But yeah, like, it was really hard to leave out Cazorla just because of the impact that he had.
mm.
But yeah, that's my three.
Interesting. So you mentioned a three already. That pretty much is basically my midfield three. You mentioned it, and you're absolutely right. My midfield three clearly has no, defensive presence, no holding mid. There's no number six, no CDM. It's just a midfield three of just straight ballers, bro.
Oh, you
Like
did Cesc Cazorla thing, Ozil?
holds 100%, yeah. And you know what? If I have to rely on my defense to like to bail me out, like I
Mm.
picked such a good back four that shit they'll hold it down. But that midfield three is definitely getting run through. Pause, because there's no defensive presence there. But shit, we'll have the ball 99.9% of the time because there are some elite ballers in that midfield, fam.
Mm,
Cesc, Santi, Ozil. We'll just keep the ball, fam. That's how we'll defend. We'll just keep the ball. You're not getting the ball off of that midfield.
yeah,
And like you said, man, we've just had, and when I think about it, that's probably been one of our stronger areas over the years in terms of what we've had, quality wise. We just talked about the Emirates era not really being strong in the defense over the years. Midfield, man, we've had some quality midfielders over the years.
Rashicki, like
What Rosicky, fucking, um,
Ramsey, Wilshire in his
honestly,
prime.
honorable mention for Ramsey. I was close to putting him in. It was between. I had to. Okay, so I'll tell you this. I had to keep Ozil and Cesc in there. Like they were for sure certified in there. So the last debate for me in terms of the Emirates 11 and what the impact of what they did in the Emirates, it was between Ramsey and Santi. But I
Mm,
just put Santi in there because he's too good of a player to leave out, man.
yeah,
But Ramsey I was really close because I think the impact he had in the Emirates, he's the main reason why he's kept us afloat in terms of the trophies, right? Um, he was a big
you,
part in at least two or three of the FA Cups that we won, the only
yep.
trophies that we won in the Emirates. So some would say he's a cult hero. He scored a couple of the winning goals in a couple of those finals. Once again, one of those was against Chelsea. Sorry, I had to get that in there. Um,
Remember
20.
that infamous corner kick when Koscielny whistled at him? He's like, "Take it with the other foot. Take it with the other
Oh, it's
foot."
for Santi. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my God. He
yeah, for
like
Santi.
he's the definition of a baller because he had no weak foot.
Mm,
He had
yeah,
no weak
100%.
foot.
That's what I'm saying. No, Santi was a cheat code. There was an
Fuck.
interview I posted it on our Gunners Corner story the other day about not Alexis Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain doing an
Mm-hmm.
interview
Yep.
talking about Santi and just how good he was, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain was basically saying it doesn't make any sense because he's not athletic, right? He's not strong. He's not quick. You know,
He's a midget.
he's this pudgy little midfielder in the Premier League. So like he's not expected to thrive in the Premier League. You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he was just so technically good that you just you can't get near him when he's at his best. Like there's
Yeah.
no way
Fuck.
when we just described that kind of midfielder, someone with no pace, he's very small, very short, agile, whatever, or lacks agility, I should say. Um, a player like that cannot you would think cannot play center midfield in the Prem, but he defied all the odds, bro. He was just that good. You could not get the ball off of him. His most famous performance, well, he's had a few to be fair, but the
Yeah.
one that we all remember is that Man City away performance.
Yep.
Remember that one, the
Mhm.
masterclass?
Oh,
Like
fuck.
that last time, I'm pretty
Our
sure was the last time we
midfielders,
won.
man. Fuck. Some of the names we've had over the. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like we've just had some pure ballers, and so I think yeah, that's why I couldn't leave him out. Like yes, Ramsey has had FA Cup winning moments for us, but the impact that Santi had in games, he would just do things with a football that this is why we love the game. You know what I mean? Like he was just magical with the ball at his feet, the invention, the innovation, things that no other player can do. As you said, taking corner kicks with either foot, just like I feel like taking it with my left today. No, no, I'll take it with my right this day. Like, bro, what?
Like,
You're
imagine Nicholas Yover had a Santi Cazorla right now. We would like set piece FC would have been like all over the news, you
yeah,
know?
100%. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, no, Santi was he was amazing, man. And obviously, yeah, the other two go without saying. Cesc Fabregas, yeah, that one goes without saying. I think you said everything already for that. And Ozil's a controversial one, but he has to be in there. Yes, his name carries a lot of weight. Yes, we understand that he probably did most of his best work at Real Madrid, but um, he still came to Arsenal and he had a chance to break Henry's assist record.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For those that don't know, the record is 20 assists, I believe, most assists in a single season. That's currently held by Thierry Henry and now tied. Kevin De Bruyne tied that record recently, so it hasn't been broken. But those two hold the record for most assists in a single season with 20, I believe it is. It's either 20 or 21. I think it's 20. And Ozil had a chance to break that in 2016 season, I
Yep.
believe.
Yeah,
Um,
15,
he
16, he
he
had 19.
he was on
Yep.
a tear, Ozil, and I think he was in and around that 18, 19 mark. I think January, February, and towards the back end of that season, our strikers just let him down. We had Giroud and Walcott's and these donkeys up top
Oh my
who couldn't put the
God.
ball in the net. Ozil would just lay down a plate for these guys and couldn't put it in the back of the net. And that was the story of his career at Arsenal. Like, yes, a lot of it was he didn't live up to the full potential that we thought, but he didn't have the greatest of supporting cast around him, right? You go from playing with Ronaldo to playing with fucking Walcott. With all due respect, it's not the same,
Walcott
So
missed. I remember that season. Walcott missed two empty nets, and
Giroud,
Giroud missed like
yeah,
multiple headers that would have put him at like 23, 24 assists. Is
assists,
like,
yeah. So he was phenomenal, man. Yeah, that again, why we talked about it before, but I remember exactly where I was when we found out we were signing Ozil. Mans were at fucking Frosh, shout out Frosh, 2013, I think. And I heard we signed him, and Mans were turning up even harder at Frost. You know what I mean? Like I was fucking on because that signing signified a turn in fortunes for Arsenal. If you remember, right? That was the big
yep.
thing with Ozil. You sign an already established world class player for at the time that was considered big money, right? 42 something mil. And it just kind of changed. It signified a sign of the times and a change in the guard of Arsenal spending money and signing big players again. So yeah, just the impact that had alone. Yeah, Ozil. So again, my midfield three is Fabregas, Santi, Cazorla, and Ozil. Man, what a midfield that is.
Tiki Taka. Mr. Piana.
Yo. All right. So for mine, I'm going with two center defensive mids.
Moisey Caicedo.
Nah, crazy, bro. That guy's no. Nah, man. Nah. So first, I'm going with the great Claude Makelele.
I
Mm,
knew it. Yeah, good stuff.
yes.
And
Fucking
then
baller.
to the side of him, bro, call all your networks because we putting on
Mm,
N'Golo Kante,
mm,
bro. Max coverage, the whole
mm,
pitch. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That GPS
Bro, the
all
mm.
around,
nicest
bro.
guy. Nicest guy
Oh,
in the world. True.
yep, yep, yep,
Conte, yeah, good shout.
yep. So that's yeah, especially if I'm going with a defense. Yeah, and if I was trying to go more attacking, then I would drop Conte and then substitute someone else. But and then the number 10 for me, Lampard.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah, you have to have him in there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyone else? Any honorable mentions? Like, who did you think you could have put in there?
Ah man, there's so many, bro. You have SEN.
SN was nice, yeah.
Um, I mean, you can even put Juan Mata, bro. Like in that 10th position if you wanted to. Joe Cole, Ramirez. I think for
Ramirez was
me,
good.
I can even like depending on how I set it up. Yeah, I could have Ramirez there, but yeah,
Did you
eh,
rate?
Didn't
Sorry,
Balak
continue.
didn't Balak play midfield?
yes, yes. Look at that. You
But
even
his
have
best
Michael
wasn't
Ballack.
his best. I don't think his best was at Chelsea though.
No, no.
Mm.
Or Maluda?
For that's more the wing, I think.
Winger,
Yeah,
yeah.
winger. Yeah, on the right wing. Yeah,
Oh yeah, sorry, you were right. Sorry.
It's
yeah.
crazy how many big names like Chelsea have had. Um, that didn't actually like fulfill their full potential at Chelsea. Like no no banter or whatever. But like yeah, like Michael
Mm,
Ballack, his best wasn't at Chelsea. We forget Arjen Robben played for Chelsea. But no one he wasn't doing nothing in the Prem. And then even a man like Shevchenko, remember that guy came in for with a big
mm.
name, big reputation too.
Wow.
I was gonna ask you, Laurent, what did you think of a man like Oscar, the Brazilian?
Yeah. Funny. I actually seen his goal the other day. Actually, I don't know if you heard, but apparently he had a heart. So something happened to his heart.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, recently. So it was posted on yeah, on the Chelsea page. But you know what? I think his tenure at Chelsea to me wasn't long enough. Like he and I remember, you know who used to hype him up? Maz, bro. I don't know if you
Oh
remember
yeah?
that. Yeah,
No, I don't remember him hyping him up.
yeah. Maz used to hype the guy up, like,
Mm.
yeah, because he thought like this guy's the next guy, right? But I don't know, man. I feel like it's too short of a sting for me. Plus, like, I don't want to, because he's not like what's his name? The guy, the Portuguese guy that now plays with Ronaldo, João Felix.
Mm.
So he's not a João Felix in terms of inconsistency, but uh, I do feel like he wasn't as consistent, right? As we wanted him to be. Although moments of brilliance again,
Yeah.
right? So the quality is there, right? With these players, right? But it's just,
Do you
uh,
remember his goal against
yep.
Juventus
When he
in terms
curled
of
it,
moment of brilliance? I think that was one of his best
yeah,
goals, man.
yeah,
I
when
think
he
we,
curled it,
bro. I don't
right?
know if you remember, we were watching that together, like all
At the
man's were watching
underground.
that together. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I
I think
that
Maz
goal
was
was
there too, bro.
that goal
Yeah, I'm
was
pretty sure.
mad, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you
yeah,
remember the touch that he took,
yeah,
the
yeah.
first
To
touch
pull
before he
away
scored
from
the
the
goal.
defender. Yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
yeah, he was nice. Yeah, like you said, yeah, moments. He's more of like a moments player.
yeah.
Hmm. It's too small during that era that he played. I think the physicality didn't allow him to show off his brilliance. Um,
Mm.
because it was like he was there from what like 2012 to 2017 or 18, and
Yeah,
like
something like that. Yeah.
it was. I mean, it's physical now, but during that time there was no VAR, right?
Mm.
To prevent some of the nasty hits and some of the stuff that was happening. So I think it was that. But yeah, he was a brilliant player. He's a brilliant player. Um, should we do right wing striker, left wing, or do you want to do front three?
Give me your front three, fam. Give me your front three.
Um, right wing. Honestly, there's no like nothing needs to be said. Starboy, Bukayo, honorable mention, and I think this player is always forgotten in the conversation for Arsenal attackers. Andrea Chavin. Um, he was in his time. He was fucking amazing. Um, Theo, he broke through. He was like super young. I think he was what, like 16, 17 when
Yeah,
he played
yeah,
for England.
yeah.
And he broke through Arsenal, so you have to mention him there. And then
Got a good
Alex,
goal record too for Arsenal, to be fair.
yeah, and Alex Hlubb.
Mm.
But Saka, just the way that he came through the academy and the way that he went from being a left wing back to all of a sudden being a right wing and being, you know, arguably one of the top right wingers in the world. I would say right now he's probably top five in the world. and he has the potential to be top one if he starts winning things, and I think that's the thing that's holding him back. I'm gonna hold off on my number nine because you're gonna get irritated with who I say. Um, Left wing, it's got to be Alexis Sanchez for me. Um, Gervinho was really good. Hey, what? He was,
No way, you're talking about Trevino right now.
bro. He was like, you know, he was a better version of Martinelli.
Oh, I don't even know about that. We would have a debate over that one. I did not rate that guy like that. I can't even lie to you. I did not
Um,
rate him.
and then Samir Nasri before he,
That
got
one is a good shout. Yes.
yeah, Samir Nasri because I think he played off the wing a lot.
Yeah.
Um, he was there for me, but Alexis Sanchez when he came from Barcelona, man, like that right foot. You knew what he was the Iron Robin of the left side. You knew what he was going to do, but you could not stop
Mm,
it no matter what you did. You could not stop it.
mm.
So that was my left wing. So if I'm picking purely, and this for my number nine, if I'm picking purely based off of talent and all the other BS aside, like all the other stuff aside, um, I would have to go with Robin Van Persie if I'm just picking on pure talent. However, I think that that part really did have an impact on the way that I viewed him and the way that he left us out to dry. And for the impact that the player that I picked had consistently, yes, he had his down moments. Yes, he went to our rival, um, Chelsea. Uh, I still think that the consistency that he showed for Arsenal, um, and the way that he respected the badge and the way that he played for the badge, even though when he was having bad games, I have to go with Olivier Giroud. Um,
Whoa. Wait.
yeah,
Oh, I thought you were. So it's not Van Persie.
no, it's not Van Persie. It's not Van Persie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
can't do it.
way.
I can't do Van Persie just because of what he did.
Yeah,
I
he's a
can't I
fucking
can't
prick.
do Van Persie. I can't.
So
And
this is okay. So this is like an Arnie Slot thing. Like this. So this one isn't even based on like logic or facts. This is based on like
no.
emotion. Like you're like,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
him.
100%.
Okay. Okay.
100%. Um Aubameyang was a close shout. I think I actually got a chance to listen to the video with Troops. And when he said like it was a huge mistake to go to Chelsea, like he did win me over a little bit. But I think Olivier Giroud just yeah, like the Scorpion goal, like just
Wow. I just finished. We
yeah.
just finished talking shit about this guy a little bit too, about how he went on a fucking streak with not scoring, and could have
Yeah.
he could have helped give Ozil the record, but fuck.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
surprised.
mean
I'm
like
surprised he picked him. I'm
yeah.
very surprised.
Yeah,
I'm
I just
very
couldn't.
surprised.
And like even Emmanuel Adebayor, like I couldn't get myself. I was like, you're a bitch. Like the way you celebrated and you ran the entire field to make a point, like of course I'm not gonna pick your bitch ass. Like go fuck yourself, you know? And Van Persie too, like Wenger put his arm around your like he bred you and you're gonna do him dirty like that? Like go fuck yourself. But again, if we're picking on like pure talent, of course it has to be Van Persie. There's no question. But I just can't. I couldn't get myself to come around to be like, yeah, Van Persie is my number nine for the Emirates. Like, no, I have to have some form of emotional attachment. And with Giroud, I did have an emotional attachment. I did like the way that he played and the way that he like. Sure, sometimes he'd piss me off at how slow he was, but he was a true number nine. He would hold the ball up. He would link the play with Ozil and Sanchez. Like you would get Walcott in, and you would be able to play off of him. Um, so for me, yeah, for me it's Saka, Giroud, and Alexis Sanchez as my front three.
Funny enough, Giroud's another one I feel like who was like a fine wine, got better with age.
Yeah.
Like his best was definitely post Arsenal. Like he did decently well at Chelsea,
Yep.
and then he did really well at AC Milan. And then obviously he's critical part of France's teams, the ones that won World Cups and whatnot. Funny enough, I think he broke the record for most goals.
Yep.
Like he just passed on Henry too for most goals for France. But that's
Yep.
another one of those like misleading records, right? Like Giroud We all know he's not better than those France legends, right? But he's got the record for most goals somehow, which is also
Clinical.
crazy because if you guys remember, I think it was the tournament that France won. You guys know he went that whole tournament and didn't score. He didn't score in
Yeah, I
that
think I remember
entire.
that.
Yeah, you remember that? You heard that stat? You can't miss that one, bro. That was a famous one, bro. Like France's main striker
Uh,
didn't score a single goal in the tournament or something,
yeah, I
something
remember
crazy.
that.
Like
Yeah.
it's actually mad if you think about it.
But I
Um,
think I think what I think I do remember, but I think the one reason why he was picked for that tournament is because remember Mbappe was putting up a stink that he did not want to play as a number nine.
yeah, yeah.
And that's why PSG at that time, remember they brought in Edison Cavani to see if Cavani could play, like Mbappe could play off of Cavani.
Hmm.
And the reason why for that France won that year was because he could play off of Giroud because Giroud was able to hold the ball up
Oh, for
and
sure. He
get
was
him
a good
into the play.
facilitator. That's what he was at
Yeah,
Arsenal too. He did. He
yeah.
he would bring guys into play. That's definitely what he was
Oh
good for. And
fuck,
if you
yeah,
watch
you're
the
right.
highlight,
He didn't
yeah,
score.
right, didn't score on the whole tournament. Can you imagine?
Wow.
But that's what he was. He was a facilitator. He wasn't necessarily, and that's why the stat of him having the most goals for France too is crazy misleading because it's like, bro, the man didn't even score in a tournament that the country won, and for the way he is, the way he plays on the eye test and stuff, you look at him and be like, yo, how is this the guy? Like, how am I going to tell my grandkids that this guy has scored more goals for France than Thierry Henry? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any
Well,
sense.
he's four. Mbappe's four behind him, so it's going to be Mbappe
Yeah.
soon, and then it's going to be Giroud, Mbappe, Thierry. Griezmann's not far behind either.
But to
Wow.
be fair, if you watch like Giroud's again, another misleading thing. If you watch Giroud's highlight reels of his best goals, you would think that this guy was like the best
Yeah,
fucking
his goals
striker
are
of
like,
all time.
Yeah, his goals
yeah,
are
Bro, he's got some
bangers. Yeah.
wicked highlight reel goals, man.
yeah.
Like you
Mm.
would think just watching his highlight reel that you would think he would like, yeah, top five striker of all time type shit. Scorpion kicks, bicycle kicks. I remember he scored one for Chelsea, like a bicycle kick. Um, yeah, man, that guy scored some bangers even at Arsenal. So whilst he didn't score, too much, the ones he did score, they were bangers.
Yeah.
But that's a wild take. I'm not gonna lie, it's a wild take.
I'm just
Um,
being honest, man. I'm not bullshit. I'm telling you why I couldn't pick Van Persie. I couldn't get myself to do it.
mm. Well, before I give anything away, my three strikers, forwards, best front three in the Emirates era for me. I'm just gonna get straight to it. I can tell you right now, Saka's not in it.
Wow.
Saka's not in it. My front three, and this is in an effort to squeeze all three of these players in who deserve to be in. So they may not necessarily be the best right winger in that
Okay.
position, but I need to get these three forwards in over Saka. And my front three straight away is Alexis Sanchez, Van Persie, and Aubameyang. So
Wow.
What?
how? Yeah, yeah,
Wait, where are
yeah,
you
yeah.
playing Aubameyang?
So how I got to do this is in order to get them in and make them efficient in their positions is Van Persie down the middle, obviously. Aubameyang off the left because he can play off the left, and Alexis will just play on the right because Alexis
He's
plays
done,
on.
yeah, he's done it on the
He's
right
played on
too.
both sides for Arsenal. He's played actually all across the front three for Arsenal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it's got to work. But reasons. I'll start with
You
the.
picked the snake.
I had to, man. And again, I fully understand what you're saying, man. Fuck that guy, Van Persie. But if bro, that guy, he pissed me off more than Ashley Cole, more than Nasri, more than any of these other snakes who left us. Van Persie pissed me off the most.
And he's still talking shit till this
Wait,
day.
more than Adebayor?
More than that, boy.
Yeah, yeah, oh,
Van Persie,
100%.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
100%.
Van Persie really, yeah, yeah, he really pissed me
Fuck
off with
that
that one.
bitch. More than Arnie Slot. Fuck that bitch.
Damn.
They're both Dutch too. A funny thing. Um, but yeah, no, no, no. Van Persie, bro, that guy fucking broke my heart when he left, fam. Yeah, that guy fucking broke my heart. And he went to United of all teams. He's celebrated against us. He talked all the shit about the little boy inside me told me to go to Man United. Like, bro, you're a fucking bitch, bro. I fucking hate that guy. He pisses me off. And he was so good as a player. I respect him, and that's why I hate him even more. You know what I mean? He left off the back of one of his one of the best single seasons I've seen from a player in this sport, in the Premier League. They say one man can't carry a team in soccer for the most part. But anyone who knows me and knows, like, being a basketball fan too, I'm a big LeBron James guy. Yes, in that sport, one man can carry a team because there's five players on the court, but it's hard to carry an 11 in soccer. But
Yeah.
what Van Persie did in that last season before he left for United, 2012 season, 2011, 2012 season. What he did that year, the way he carried us into the top four, so, like pretty much almost single handedly,
Hmm.
was bro. Like it was just one of the most enjoyable seasons for me to watch for a single player at my club. Watching him, you know what I mean? Like honestly, close to like a Thierry Henry kind of level. Like the way he carried us. Like I was in awe, bro. I'm like, yo, this guy, he's finally put the injuries behind him. You know, he's here, he's landed, he's in his prime, he's world class. Then in the next season he goes to fucking United, you know. And but yeah, for me and bro, like that season, I don't even know if even you would remember this, Laurent, and even you, Mehrdad. You know, famously that hat trick he scored at Stamford Bridge in that 5-3 game, um, playing for Arsenal. Yeah, man,
No.
go back and watch the highlights. I think if you watch the highlights, you might remember. Even if you didn't watch that game live, you would have, you know, seen it in the highlights over the years because it was just such a
Mm.
famous game. 2011, 2012 season, Arsenal won 5-3 at Stamford Bridge. Van Persie scored a hat trick, left foot, right foot, roofed into the net, past Peter Cech for the third goal for the hat trick. Like, yeah, Van Persie, bro, what he was doing that season was nuts. And I think I put him up there with Fabregas and with Alexis Sanchez in terms of best single players I've seen at the Emirates. Full stop. Like those three, I would say, are in terms of what they did and in terms of individual brilliance and how they carried Arsenal. Cesc, Alexis, and Van Persie, in terms of just pure talent, pure brilliance, are the best players. Full stop of the Emirates era. Um, and yeah, man, like yeah, Van Persie just he was different class, you know, different class. Um, yeah, so mans are still heartbroken to this day. But yeah, um, Alexis Sanchez, again, I mentioned it, I teased it already. He has to go in there. Again, arguably the best player of the Emirates era. He did it at a higher level longer than Fabregas and Van Persie because the one
Hmm.
phenomenal season that I was talking about from Van Persie, again, that was just the one season. Prior to that, he's been constantly injured in this and that. But the level that he did perform that season was just so high you can't leave Van Persie out. But Sanchez was doing it for 3-4 years, and again he was also, to be fair to him, carrying a team of mediocre players, right? Mediocre forwards, mediocre team around him. Players like Bellerin and them said it in you know in press conferences, or you know we heard them come out afterwards and say how much Alexis Sanchez was a winner. Like he liked to win too much, and that says a little bit something about the players that we had at the time and their low standards and their mediocre mindset, right? Guys like Bellerin saying, like coming out and saying, oh, like we didn't like Alexis Sanchez in training because he was too intense and he wanted to win too much even in training. I'm thinking, wait, where's the
What?
problem? Where's the
Yeah.
problem with that? You know what I mean?
Wait, who
Like
said
that just
that?
goes to Hector Bellerin.
Mm.
Just goes to show the caliber of players that we had at that time too. Like you know, and their lack of a mindset. But Alexis Sanchez was one of the ones who just wanted to win everything, right? Even in training, every little thing he would contest, he would battle for. Um, and bro, the left wing is the position that we say that Arsenal need the most right now. Can you guys imagine Alexis Sanchez in this
In
Arsenal team
this?
now?
Yeah.
Man, we would walk the league. I promise you. Like you know, like he was
Oh,
just
I'm watching the goals on one of the goals when Lampard fell.
the Van Persie hat trick at Stamford Bridge, right?
Yeah, his second goal
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
85th minute.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sorry, that was John Terry. John Terry fell.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's gonna be doing the talking November 30th, Laurent. Hey, so when you're running back, make sure you slip and fall and let Gyökeres score and do his hair flip. Yeah, let him do the talking.
Man. Um, yeah, man.
Ooh, his third goal.
His third
Okay,
goal,
yeah, I
bro.
remember this now.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. If you didn't watch that live, you've definitely seen highlights of it somewhere
Yeah.
down the years because that
Yeah.
game was, yeah, man. Fucking hell, man. Fuck. I don't want to talk about him anymore. Fuck that guy. But,
You picked him.
yeah,
What do you mean fuck that guy?
I
You
know.
picked him.
I had to. Removing emotion aside, I had to. I had to.
Oh.
I had to. You can't leave that guy out, bro. If you take out the emotion, you can't leave him out. He's too good. Yeah, but Sanchez again, just as good. Like I said, for me, Alexis, Van Persie, and Cesc, the best three players of the Emirates era. Full stop. Yeah, Alexis was again, like I said, carrying a team, carrying a mediocre team. His intensity levels, the things that he was doing on the pitch too. You know the way way I talked about Santi and just like doing magical things with the football that you can't teach as a coach. And funny enough, he probably wouldn't work in this Arteta system because he was too much of an individualistic player, right? The things that he's doing on a pitch, you don't teach. He's not a system-based winger, right? The opposite of what we say about our Sakas and our Martinellis at the moment, where they play too systematic, right? Sanchez was just a straight street footballer on the pitch, you know. You know, pardon my language, you know, controlling the ball off his ass at times, you know, just turning around and just having a pop, you know, just taking it, you
Mm-hmm.
know, controlling the ball any which way it came to him. You know what I mean? Just off his head, off his shoulder, keep up flick ups in games. You know, megging man's just doing the most on the pitch, bro. He was a joy to watch at a time where again we were at a pretty low point, carrying the team on his back. Um, and the numbers that he was putting up from a winger position was, you know, it was class. You know, 20 goals and you know close to 20 like assists at times. FA Cup final magic goals. Yeah, man, Sanchez was a brilliant player. And the last player, yeah, like I said, I mentioned Aubameyang. I can't leave out Aubameyang, man. I'm sorry, I can't leave that
Obama
guy out.
blood clot Yang.
Yeah, I can't leave that
So
guy out.
good.
It was close between him and Saka. But again, we're being harsh on our current players, right? Saka's got to win something. And I've
Yeah.
single-handedly seen Aubameyang lift Arsenal to an FA Cup final. In our most
Yeah.
recent our
Fair.
most tr- bro, our most recent trophy win in 2020 was Aubameyang. That's all Aubameyang. We played Man City. For those that don't know, we played Man City in the semifinals. We won 2-0, I believe. Aubameyang scored both goals. We played Chelsea in the finals. Aubameyang scored again 2 goals, one PK, and famously the one where he chipped. Who was in net? Was it Courtois or Willie Caballero? Caballero, and I don't know who Chelsea's
It
keeper was
was.
in that
I think
2020
it was
final.
Caballero.
Caballero chips him with his left foot in a final. You know the audacity. And he was captain at the time, bro. He again
That's
Arteta
what ruined him, man. Sorry to cut you off. That's
the
what ruined him.
captaincy. Yeah, yeah,
He's
maybe.
not a and I don't want to take credit for this because this isn't all what I came up with. I remember listed like when all that transition happened, a lot of pundits were coming out saying like he's not a captain, he's a free
Mm,
player, he's just a flair player that you just need to let him express himself. And when you gave him the captaincy, that's when you took that away from him.
mm. Yeah, that coincided with Arteta coming in as well, right? Because again, Arteta expect a lot from him, and
Yeah.
he didn't show that sort of leadership qualities. Again, he's not going to give him that freedom of expression. It's going to be very rigid. It's going to be very down to,
Yeah.
and Aubameyang, he's the kind of character, and he portrays his personality on the pitch, right? That laissez-faire, that relaxed, like flair, freedom of expression. You know what I mean? You can see how he carried that off on and off the pitch, and obviously Arteta, he came in and demanded things a certain way. So right away, you knew that wasn't gonna mesh. And there's a lot of things that I stood by and I agreed with Arteta with, and I also thought there's a lot of things that were unfair. Like as a captain, you can't turn up to training late and expect to play and things like that, right? Like
Yeah.
that's not gonna fly. Um, but at the same time, there was some things there that, not to get into it now, that's the topic for another day, but there were some mistreatments and there were things that were a little bit harsh in the way it went down. All banter aside, people say that, Arteta should be grateful to Aubameyang because Aubameyang is the one that won him that only trophy that he has, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, man, Aubameyang, and even before Arteta, what Aubameyang was doing with Unai Emery, that season where he won the Golden Boot, we hadn't had a striker that has won the Golden Boot since. And before Aubameyang, it was Van Persie in 2012, all those many moons ago. You know what I mean? So, um, our last player to currently hold the Golden Boot, and our last player to win us a trophy back in 2020. And he carried
Sure.
us.
Yeah.
He carried us. He was very efficient in front of goal, very clinical. Right, that's one thing we can say about him. Um, definitely, he came at a time, and I think he helped soften the blow for us when we lost Alexis, right? Because when we lost Alexis in that January window, Aubameyang came straight in, and we all said, "Ooh, here's a shiny new toy, world class player with a reputation from Dortmund and across Europe." And he just banged in the goals, 20 goals a season, kind of striker, and again, winning us trophies, coming up clutch in big moments. Never forget some of his goals against Spurs in the derbies.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Henri celebration, so he's got a place in my heart. Um, so yeah, man, it's got to be Aubameyang. Until Saka can win us a trophy and get over the line like that, and the way Aubameyang did, then we can talk about Saka being in there. But Saka's got to do something big like that, like the way those players that I mentioned are, and that's why those guys are in there, right? The moments they delivered, the trophies they won in the case of Alexis and Aubameyang, Saka's got to do that, and we can revisit that conversation at that time. Um,
Fair
that's
enough.
my front
You
three.
saying you gotta win something to be world class, eh?
100%.
Not to be world. I see that part. I disagree with. I don't think you have to win something to be world class. But then again, there's levels, right? If we're talking about the best, I don't know if Saka's world class, but he's not very far off. for in his case, maybe getting him a trophy will get him over the line. But if I'm comparing him to an Aubameyang, Van Persie, and an Alexis Sanchez, right? Those guys are winners. Those guys that do it, at a level where they're carrying their team over the line. They have moments that carry the team over the line. They've all proven that. And I need kind of Saka to have that moment too. You know what I mean? To get us
Mm,
over the line.
okay.
Fucking Mehrdad, bro. I still can't believe. You could have picked Giroud. Sorry, you could have picked Aubameyang. You could have picked Van Persie. You could have picked fucking Adebayor. You could have picked. Remember Eduardo? I don't know if you remember
Yes.
Eduardo,
Yes.
bro. If you didn't want to pick Van Persie, you could have picked or like three or four other strikers. You could have picked. Man went down to Giroud. Jeez.
I had an emotional attachment. Like some of the goals and some of the memories, like that was my yeah.
Because you
There's
have to
a
admit, all those strikers I just mentioned, they're all more talented than Van
100%.
Persie.
No, without a doubt. There's no arguing that. But I didn't. The emotional attachment that I had to Van Persie was just the same thing with Aubameyang. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was a little bit fixed with what he said on the pod with Troops. Uh, but Van Persie never. Mm-mm. And the fact that he kept going till this day, he kept going and saying like shit. Like it's like, dude, give it a rest. So no, 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 no. But anyways, let's move on because I'm gonna get fucking heated talking about that scumbag. Um, Mr. Piana, give us your front three.
All right. On the left, the one and only Eden Hazard.
Oh yeah, yeah. How could I forget?
Yeah.
Um, on the right, to the right of him, I'm gonna go Pedro. Barca Pedro.
Pedro who?
Oh, Barca
Oh,
Pedro. Okay, okay.
oh,
Who?
Yeah,
okay.
Who?
yeah. Who you guys thinking? Pedro Neto?
Yeah, man, I'm
No,
like, yo, this guy's getting gassed.
no, no. Yeah, I think yeah. William again. I think for
I was gonna
me,
say, yeah,
was
William was pretty good for you guys.
yeah, but there's a time too where he's a bit inconsistent. But yeah, it could have been either or to be honest, right? Um, yeah, obviously to me, even Robin. If I'm saying Robin, it's like I'm going too far back. Um, so yeah, and then striker,
Wonder who?
man, I'm torn between it's a hard one between Lukaku or Chris Wood. Those the two options there. Um, you guys mind helping me out?
Chris Wood, 100%.
Yeah, Chris Wood, eh? Hmm. I mean, it's not exactly 99 strength, but yeah, yeah. I guess it'll do.
You're stupid, bro.
DD Drogba, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. There's only one man in that position. One man and one man only. You could even argue Nicholas Anelka, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, yeah,
Anelka.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that guy was crazy, bro.
he was.
Like insane. Um, yeah. If I had a different formation, I think I'd put even both of them, Drogba
Hmm.
and Anelka.
Or like
Uh,
a 4-4-2.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'd put both of them up top.
Hmm.
Honorable mentions: no Diego Costa, Fernando
Yeah,
Torres.
yeah, yeah. You have those. Yeah, yeah.
I
The
think
class.
Diego Costa was probably after Drogba, in my opinion. I think Diego Costa was probably your next biggest striker in terms of impact. Not necessarily
Mm,
name, because like I said, Shevchenko, Fernando Torres was obviously a very big name, but he didn't deliver too much. But
hmm
in terms of delivery, after like since
hmm
Drogba left, I think Costa was pretty good for you guys.
Yeah, I agree. Um, it's just the force behind him. Um, and I feel like when you got a guy like up top, like there's no fear for the other opposition. You know what I mean? Because that guy is always willing to go at it. He's not afraid of a challenge. Um, yeah, just ruthless, bro. Aggression, which I think is highly important in sports in general, right?
Mhm.
That pit bull like aggression. Um, yeah. So yeah,
Hmm.
he's definitely honorable mention. Yeah.
Um, so
I was gonna
running.
mention
Oh,
Mehrdad
sorry.
quickly. Sorry, just quickly. I was gonna mention for the viewers before anyone has a heart attack. This came to my mind as Laurent mentioned Drogba. But for any viewers who are giving me and Mehrdad a hard time and gonna have a fucking heart attack, Thierry Henry obviously was not mentioned because Yes, he
Yeah,
played in the
yeah, yeah.
Emirates, but let's be honest, his best was at Highbury, right? He had one season at the Emirates
Yeah.
before he left for Barca, and then he came back later on, like when he was freaking pretty much on retirement watch for half a season. So obviously, we all know who the real GOAT is, whatever, but he didn't really play in the Emirates. Too
No,
tough. So let's
no,
just
we
get that
couldn't
out
have
there.
picked them. Yeah.
Plus,
Uh,
it wouldn't be any fun, We all would pick Thierry, and you gotta give somebody else a chance. So
yeah,
you know.
yeah, when he came back, it was he just came back for just helping his old boss.
Did you guys see the D80? There's a lot of Chelsea and Arsenal stuff that have been going on, I feel like, lately. Especially, with the game around the corner, that game brewing, like Aubameyang coming out and saying going to Chelsea was a mistake.
Let's say, yeah.
Um, Thierry Henry and Drogba made a bet, I think, this week too about the Chelsea and Arsenal game coming up, and then also I think they made a bet about because I think Thierry Henry said that Arsenal is going to break Chelsea's defensive record this season and Drogba. So they made a little bit of a bet. If you guys didn't see, I'll post it in the group chat for you guys right now. But I thought it
Oh,
was
I
quite
don't know
funny.
if I would have said that. That's a huge
I don't
record.
know if he meant it, man. It's pretty bold. Yeah,
Yeah, that record needs to be shown respect.
hampered significantly because we conceded two fucking last game. So
Yeah.
now it's looking kind of shaky for that. What?
Um. So just to go through it again, my Emirates 11: Wojciech Szczesny, Sanya, Saliba, Koscielny as my back. Who am I missing?
Left back.
Oh my God. What? Who did I pick for my left back now? Oh, Gail
Clichy.
Clichy. Whoops, sorry. Um, Clichy for my back line. Midfield, Declan Rice, Fabregas, Mesut Ozil. And then front three, Bukayo Saka, Olivier Giroud, Alexis Sanchez. CJ, correct me if I'm wrong, it was David Raya. Bakary Sanya, William Saliba, Gabriel, Kieran Tierney for your back five. Um, your midfield of Tiki Taka, Fabregas, Cazorla, Ozil. Um, and then front three, Sanchez, Voldemort, and Aubameyang. Um, yeah, I'm not going to say his name. So if you'd like, you can say his name. Mr. Piana, Peter Cech, Ivanovic, Carvalho, John Terry, Ashley Cole, Makalele, Conte, Lampard, and then Hazard, Chris Wood, and Pedro.
Spot on.
Didier. Sorry, I'm not going to disrespect Mr. Didier. He's joining us on the pod. Um, you know, I don't know why you're laughing. Your photo on any post that we do is Didier. So, Mr. Drogba. Um, so yes, please, if you haven't, go to our YouTube. We are putting posts every single day. Comes out 9 a.m. You can vote on who you think the Emirates 11 should be. Currently, right now, we have had our keeper. There's actually a three-way tie currently, and we have our right back out there and our center back pairing. For the next couple days, we got our left back coming up, number six, right eight, left eight, and then our front three. So please, if you do get a moment, go check it out. We will reveal it next week when we do our recording on who the fans voted. Uh, it'll be interesting to see because, like I said, right now it's a three-way tie for our keeper. So it's going to maybe come down to, I would say an impartial person in Laurent picking it because I know CJ and I would disagree on who we would take with the people that are tied. But yeah, I don't know about you two, but I fucking hate the interlull. I fucking hate it.
What, international break?
Yeah, I fucking hate it. I absolutely hate it.
I mean, I'm good, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. What, you want players playing every week?
Like
Like,
international break, bro. And apparently Calafiori got injured in Moldova.
oh,
So
Well,
jeez. Wait, how bad is it?
it's precautionary apparently.
yeah.
but
Okay. Well,
still,
just make sure he's fit
He
for Chelsea, bro.
and apparently
That money.
Arsenal requested him to come back home, and he said no.
Jeez, he's doing the opposite of what Chiesa is doing. Chiesa is being requested to come and play, and he's saying no. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
nah.
Yeah.
He wants no part in the international team for Italy, apparently.
Well, he got done dirty, man. He got done dirty in Italy with the way that he was
True.
scolded.
What they do?
Uh, from the Serie A, like the way that they scolded him and they said, "Oh, like he's not an Italian player, blah 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 blah. Blah. He needs to get out of Italy." It's like, bro,
Wait,
like,
why would they say that though?
because he wasn't performing.
Oh,
But like, it's one thing to say, like, it's a shit that they did to Ozil. When he was doing well for Germany, he was a German, and then when he wasn't doing well, he was like a Muslim.
Turkish.
He
Mm.
was a Turkish Muslim that like he had to go back to his country. It's like, wait, what? Like, so the guy
hmm.
who, was performing for you, and all of a sudden now you're saying because he had a poor run of games, he's like a Turkish Muslim that you don't want him involved. Like, how does that work? Same thing with Ribéry. Ribéry was the same thing too with France.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, that guy was sick.
yeah,
Ribery?
Frank Ribéry. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, him and fucking Robin, bro. That was fucking
And then
deadly.
Miroslav Klose in the middle.
Hmm. I remember. I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember those days.
A certain man.
Fuck.
uh, yo, honestly, yo, but I think, yeah, like I said, this international break, whilst we hate it, enjoy it now, Mehrdad, because buckle up after the break. It's gonna be pretty hectic for us. Got 3 hectic games, a busy, congested schedule coming up over the Christmas period. So we're in for a good ride after the break. So, like I said, buckle up, get your stress pills in now, so they kick in for the time those games come around. Because it starts off on the Sunday with the North London Derby, then midweek
Yeah.
Bayern Munich, and then the small matter of the Stamford Bridge game on the 30th.
Hmm. How you guys feel about that though? That Bayern Munich game? Just without going into too
Okay,
much.
so controversially, Mehrdad, I was listening to this week in discussions over the games that we have coming up in that week, and where you'd risk dropping points or even willing to rotate. Obviously, you want to win every game, but where I'm going to rotate at this moment in time, and where I would concede points in, would be against Bayern Munich.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rotating that game. The two Premier League games,
Must
Spurs and
wins.
Chelsea. Yeah, you got to win those. And Chelsea now for me has become a must win, in because we dropped points against Sunderland. So like typically going to Stamford Bridge and getting a point is considered it would be considered a good point, but because of Sunderland now, we got to go to the bridge and we got to get 3 points, man. The position that we're in the Champions League, I think we're what, near the top, tied
Yep.
for first.
Tied for first.
So we're in a good position in the Champions League where we can drop points, I think, and still be okay. But as we know in the Premier League nowadays, such as the pace that and Liverpool have set over the years, it feels like in the Premier League every game is a must-win game, and when you're in a title race. And so I think we need to try and get maximum points against Spurs and Chelsea. So if there's one game I'm rotating, it's Bayern Munich.
For me, it depends on how City does in their first game back from the international break because they play Newcastle away. So
Yeah,
if they drop points, then maybe I would be hesitant to fully rotate because that weekend that we play Chelsea, they play Leeds and I at home, and I anticipate I can't even speak. I anticipate that they're gonna crush Leeds. Like it's not gonna even be close.
yeah.
So if they drop points,
I have to triple captain Holland that week.
yeah, like if they drop points, um, you know, and they face Sunderland at home, like after that. And no, don't triple captain him yet. Wolves in the new year. Don't be, hold on to that chip.
Mm.
Um, so that's what would make me, because they also play on the Saturday. So if they play on the Saturday, we're getting all the players healthy. They drop points. Not that I would fully rotate, but I would be a little less reluctant to rotate
Against
because I would,
Spurs, you're saying?
yeah, like sorry against Bayern.
Oh, Bayern. Oh,
The Spurs game is a must win. title race or not, the Spurs game is a must win.
I was gonna say the fans wouldn't even allow you to rotate in that game. It's
Yeah,
just it's such an important game. You have to go full strength for that.
yeah. So, but yeah, I agree with you. That midweek game, like, it is what it is. Even if we can squeeze out a draw with our second team, so what?
Yeah, I just think there's extra importance on the game against Chelsea now too, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Um. All right, fellas. Another one in the books. What is this? 58. We're almost at 60. We're getting closer to the Centurion.
Hmm.
Closer
Yeah.
than Chelsea will ever get to.
Well, we'll see about that, man. So I think we have Burnley next for us. Right. Pretty easy result.
yeah,
Pretty easy results.
Yeah. It's gonna be a pretty easy result. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So long as we manage to keep all 12 men on the field.
Oh,
You
here
know,
we go.
yeah. Is bro, a full 11 side Chelsea, bro, that's a scary sight.
certain mans might fake an injury or get a purposely sent off in that Burnley game to avoid playing the mighty Arsenal the next week. But
Well,
is Cole Palmer going to be fit, fam? That's the one question you have to ask yourself. Don't worry about us. Is Cole Palmer going to be fit?
bro, we're good. We're good without him, bro. We're good at the headlines even are, Chelsea performing well without their talisman. True story.
Those are the current
Those are
headlines
the
at the moment.
current, yeah, those are the current headlines, man. So it's, we're good. So it's like, personally, do you guys want him back?
Yes.
You tell me,
Yeah, I don't want any excuses.
bro. There will be no excuses, bro. No, if you hear this from a Chelsea fan, bro, just bro, just tell him to shut up, bro. There'll be no excuses, man.
All right. Well, no excuses, excuses. We're gonna preview it in a few weeks. But as always, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'll be back next week previewing the weekend games coming up. Premier League's back, not this weekend, next weekend. And yeah,
And
we'll
sorry
have.
for, yeah, yeah, sorry. Go on.
No, I was just gonna make a stupid comment. It's okay. Go on.
Okay. No, no, I mean, bro, by all means,
No, 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 no. It's okay. It's okay. You already
Okay.
ruined it. You already ruined it. It's fine.
Wow. Wow. Now, I mean, now that you say that, bro, I have to let you finish, bro.
Pause.
Pause.
Jeez. Wow.
No, I was gonna say, next pod we'll have Mr. TT behind Mr. Stronger. So we're not looking at fucking, Maxim magazine with like the feng shui. We're gonna have the Arsenal behind him. Our normal recording style.
Oh, right. Yo, I noticed, yeah, your setup is different.
Bro, we're like 2 hours in and this man just noticed
Yeah, yeah,
this
actually.
difference.
Oh, shit. Okay, okay. Yeah, no, I guess, yeah, we'll talk about this off air. But yeah, no, all I was gonna say is you know, make sure to tune in to the Nigeria versus the DRC game on Sunday, 2 p.m. It's a big one. It's a big one. DRC looking to make the return to the World Cup stage after about 50 years, right?
Hmm.
50 years. Some say we are the trailblazers in terms of one of the first African nations, right, to make it to the world stage. So yeah, tune into that big game, and we have to figure out the Osimhen problem, as that guy is truly a problem. Man, you know, did hope he'd sign for Chelsea, but it is what it is. And yeah, see you guys on the next pod.
All right, fellas. Adios.
Laters.
Peace.